today so that I can get you this training on time. And just getting plugged back in, gonna get started. Okay, so week 3, having conversations. And we're gonna start with talking about sales. So sales are the lifeblood of your business because that's how you make money. So the basic definition of selling is to give or hand over something in exchange for money. So remember that we have been talking about delivering value this entire time and how you're putting yourself out there and you're giving, delivering as much value as possible. So as you do that, you develop and foster these relationships with new people who were at one point total strangers, had never heard of you. And as you're delivering value and they're becoming fans, you are slowly going to invite them into an opportunity to work with you, assuming that you have a service-based business, but this really works across the board. So I have a quote to read for you from this awesome book called To Sell is Human. Is that the name of this book? To Sell is Human by Daniel H. Pink. Really great book. I highly recommend it. So it is, here's the quote. Selling, I've grown to understand, is more urgent, more important, and in its own sweet way, more beautiful than we realize. The ability to move others to exchange what they have for what we have is crucial to our survival and our happiness. It has helped our species evolve, lifted our living standards, and enhanced our daily lives. The capacity to sell isn't some unnatural adaptation to the merciless world of commerce. It is part of who we are. So I just love that reframe of selling. And let's just dive straight into the mindset stuff. So grab a paper and pen. And the first thing I want you to do is just write out what you think of when you think of selling. What comes to mind? What kind of negative thoughts do you have about salespeople? Because if you're in business and you're an entrepreneur, you are a salesperson, you are a marketer, and you are also whatever your skill or trade is, whether that's a coach, a stylist, a photographer. So you're all 3 of those things as an entrepreneur. And the last 2 weeks, we've really been talking about marketing, which is sharing your message, clearly communicating the value of what it is that you have to offer. And now we're moving into the sales part. So I want you to write down whatever negative beliefs you have about sales. Selling is icky, it's sleazy, it's slimy, it's pushy, all of that stuff, okay? So just jot that down. Those are a few common ones. And the other thing I want you to write down is what kind of negative thoughts come up for you when you think of pricing and making an offer and people objecting to purchasing from you. What kind of negative thoughts come up for you then? So I have a list here of some beliefs that a lot of people, not just women, struggle with when they are service providers, and especially if you're a transformational entrepreneur. So anyone who's offering a service that has the potential to change someone's life, you're really leading your business from your heart. So it's a very personal thing. You're not necessarily just selling a product. You're really selling yourself, and you're selling, you're selling from your heart. So let's just look at some of the icky beliefs that could be underneath the surface. And these are the things that need to be brought to light. And what we're going to do is turn them around and find evidence for the total opposite. So negative beliefs. Here are a few that I wrote down. Things that could be blocking you from making sales in your business. I can't help them. It's not worth that amount. It won't work. They won't pay that much. Feeling like I'm a fraud. People won't pay. They don't have the money. They won't sign up. I can't make X dollars a month. Only certain types of individuals or coaches make X dollar a month. My offer isn't good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not worth that amount. they would be wasting their money. So those are some really deep, dark beliefs that a lot of us have when we're going into business for ourselves. And even as we evolve and change over the course of our business, those thoughts can change with us. So let's say you started out with selling a lower priced package, and now you're elevating your business to something where you're doubling your prices even. And that might bring up some new beliefs that you didn't even know were there. So once you've written down a belief, a negative belief, something like they won't pay, they can't afford it. I want you to take that belief, and your homework over this course of this next week is to take that belief, write down the exact opposite of that belief, and then look for evidence and proof as to why that belief is as true or truer than your original belief. And then you're going to take that new thought and make it into a mantra. So you might have a list of 10 or 20 things that you've written down, but I want you to pick the top 2 or 3 things that are really, really deeply entrenched beliefs. Like usually it's they can't afford it, no one will pay it, or I'm not good enough, something like that. Turn each one of those around and find proof and examples out there in the world of other people who are doing exactly what you want to be doing and doing it successfully. Because if there's one thing that I learned this past weekend being at this conference is that there are women in a variety of industries making money. I mean, from, you know, whether your goal is to get 5 clients and make $5,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $500,000 a month, there really is no limit on what's possible for you, no matter what business you're in. And that's part of the benefits of being an entrepreneur, is that there's no ceiling on your income potential. So belief, mindset, that's the start that we're gonna do as the foundation for this next week. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the sales process. And sales process is really like akin to a relationship. I like this analogy of when you are, let's say you go from single to married. You don't just go, well, some people do, single to married in a day if you didn't do like a shotgun wedding. But usually there's the meeting, there might be that initial flirtation phase, the honeymoon phase, getting to know each other, getting closer, spending more time. Maybe there's the putting a ring on it phase, getting engaged, getting married, building and fostering a family. The relationship grows in depth. Same thing with clients. So if you think back to the last week or the last month and see what you've spent money on and the services that you've bought, and ask yourself, how did you end up buying that service? How did you find that person? And what was the process you went through to go from stranger to paying customer? So for example, I got a massage today here in Sydney, and it was as simple as me walking down the street, feeling kind of sore because I've been flying a lot the past 2 weeks, and seeing a window display that said essential oils massage, and some kind of an alignment thing. And it had a special price from 12 to 4. So me being at the right place at the right time, them having a really clear offer, and it was just such an easy yes that I just walked right in and they were able to take me on the spot. So that's just an example of how someone who was literally walking down the street and never heard of this business before, became a client and a customer pretty quickly. So I want you to think about in your own life, what have you spent money on in the past month? And what kind of process are you going to take people through to go from stranger, warming them up, to paying customer? So that's just something that every business needs to have, is a process. And it's what a lot of people call a sales funnel. But either way, if you're not getting clients or you're not making money, it's probably because you're lacking that process in your own business. So mapping that out over the course of the next week is something else that you're going to be doing. Just seeing how it is that you take someone who walks in your door to get to know you and to eventually exchange money for value. Okay. Going to go into the 5-step process for consult. So last week you came up with a free mini session or a breakthrough session discovery call. And these calls are a great opportunity for you to connect with someone, see what their dream is, what it is that they want that they don't have, and then offer your program as a solution and as that bridge that's going to help them go from where they are now to where they want to be. So you can do that in 5 steps, and I'm going to give you the gist. Yeah, I don't want you to feel like you have to follow a script, because that can feel really forced and unnatural. That's why I said this is all about having conversations. It's really casual, and it's not about you, it's about the other person, and you're just there as a vehicle for their potential change, growth, transformation, or for them to get what they want. So here we go. Let me find my notes. Step 1. So it's a 5-step process. And just look at the workbook. I'm actually going to lay all of this out for you, but I'll just walk you through it really quickly. So the first step is to say hello and connect. You're getting this person on a call. You've named a breakthrough session. They've signed up through your link, and they've shown up for the call. So really, it's just about saying hi and thanking them for giving you their time today, and that you're excited to connect with them and see what it is that they want and how you might be able to help them get that. So really, your consults can last anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. I would say no more than an hour. Some of you may go an hour. It's not a coaching session, and it's not a chance for you to, solve all their problems. It's really just a process you're taking people through, again, to reconnect them to what it is they want and see if it's a fit for the two of you to potentially work together. So it's a consult, it's a strategy session, it's a discovery session. It's not necessarily a session where you are going to be coaching them for an hour. So the first step is just a quick hello and connect. Okay, second step of the process is to find out what it is they want. So really, this is all about drawing out their vision for whether it's their business, their life, their health, their relationships, their finances, whatever the thing is that you're focusing in on, and whatever the title is of your breakthrough session or your discovery call, your free mini session, you're going to ask them what it is that they want. What's the outcome they want? If they could wave a magic wand and really get what they want, what does that look like? And you want to dig deep in this second part. You really want to see what the underlying emotional piece is of what it is that they want. So for example, someone may want to lose 25 pounds. So if you're a weight loss coach, a health coach, and they get on the call because they want to lose 25 pounds. Whatever that thing is, I want you to ask them what's important about that, or why do you want that? Another question you can ask is, how will you feel when you have that? So everything that we want it because we're going to feel a certain way when we have it. And everything we want, it's because there's usually something even deeper underneath it. So if a woman wants to lose 25 pounds, maybe it's because she wants to feel more confident. And then you can ask, well, what's important about that? Oh, I really want to start dating again. Well, what's important about that? I want to get married, and I'm getting over this relationship, and I've gained 25 pounds, and I just want to get back to my most confident self. So when you get to the second phase, it's really about excavation. It's digging deep into what it is that your client wants. And it doesn't always have to be something like that you would think of as that could be connected to emotions like weight loss. It can be something like creating a program online. So if you help people create programs online, you can really ask them, what is it that they want? Like, why do they want that? And usually it's because they want more freedom. They want to create this business that allows them to have flexibility so they can spend more time with their kids. Do you see what I'm saying? You really want to get to that piece that's underneath the surface thing that they say that they want. Okay? So that's the second step. The third step is to find out what stops them from having what they want. So this is where you're going to talk about the problem or the stuck point or anything that they are struggling with. So you've gotten them connected to their vision, to what it is that they want, to why they want it. Now you're going to see, why don't they have what they want? What stops them? What slows them down? And really you're just asking them to tell you a little bit more about what it is that they're struggling with. That's the third part of this consult process. Really just, again, digging deep to see, why do they not have what they want yet? And a good question to ask And that phase is, I like to ask a few questions. There's a couple questions you can ask, which they'll both be in the guidebook. One is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this for you to solve? So you can really see, is this something that they're really committed to changing in their life? That's a good one. Or you can also ask, what's the other question I like to ask? Let me see if it's in my notes. Hold on. I am drawing a blank. Hold on. I'm going to find it. Okay, it'll come back to me. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this for you to solve? Yeah. I'll add it to the guidebook. I know there's another question, and I can't think of it for the life of me. But I will add it in. Okay. Fourth step is to offer your solution. So this is the part where you segue from the problem that they've been having. Oh, this was the other question. I got it. The other question I like to ask after uncovering the problem is, do you have a step-by-step plan to make this change happen? That's the question. I love that question. So really, these consults are actually mini coaching conversations, because you get to ask these really powerful questions. So you get to ask, you can ask someone something like, you know, how important is it for them to solve? Or you can ask them that other question, which is, do you have a step-by-step plan for making this happen? That's a great question to ask. Okay, so let's say you just asked them that question, and now you're segueing into the fourth part of the consult, which is where you offer your solution. So you're really just going to reframe back to them what it is that they've said. You're going to have let them do most of the talking during this consult, really just listening, and you can just relay back to them. So, you know, what I'm hearing you say is that you're here, over here on this place where, you know, you're struggling with X, Y, and Z, and what you want is to be over here where you have A, B, C. Okay, and then you're going to offer your solution. So based on what you're telling me, your next step is, and that's where you're going to fill in the blank with your offer. So you've already created your offer in week 1. And if it's a fit for where they are and for what you offer, that's when you basically offer your solution, okay? So that's the fourth part of this consult process. So the final step is really just to close that deal and seal the deal and really get them signed up. So this fifth step is the logistical pieces. So you've made your offer, they're interested, they're ready to go, and now you really want to get them on board. So this is all about your enrollment process. So do people sign up directly on the phone? Do you email them a link, a PayPal link? Do you have a sales page with a button where they can buy? These are the things that you need to decide now before you start doing your consult. How are people going to pay you? So just decide on something. There's no right or wrong here. You can try all of them, any of them, but just make sure that you have some way to let people get to that next step, which is really giving you money to start working with you. And I also suggest that you sign them up for their first session, or for, basically for whatever the next step is. Go ahead and sign up and seal that date in so that you're both on the same page and you're excited to get started together. Okay, so those are the steps, and in a perfect world, you just get to go through that and you get an easy yes. But oftentimes we come across objections. So I'm going to talk about objections really quick, and just in saying that objections are a part of the sales process. And the reason why that is because when we're about to make a change, you've just had this emotional connection where someone's gotten to connect with the side of their brain that is not just, you know, pure logic. It's really about heart, emotion, soul. And as we're about to make a change or step forward in a new way and really commit and invest, usually this lizard brain gets activated and fear comes up. And the fear comes up in the form of objections. Like, I don't think I have the time. I have to talk to my spouse. I don't think I can afford it. I don't have the money. All of these are objections, and they're a natural part of the process of having consults. So look at the list of objections and how you can coach people through those things that typically stop them from moving forward in their life. So those objections are actually the things that stop them from having what it is that they want. So they're believing their own stories. They are getting reactivated into that fear and survival mode. And you want to help support them in gently moving forward so that they can have that change that they want. So go through the objections list, and if you have more questions about that, you can always email me, but just know that objections are not a sign of anything being wrong. Let's say that 80% of the people that you speak with in these consults are going to have some sort of an objection, and you just want to be there to best support them in this process of moving forward towards transformation. So objections are natural. And one other key part about making sales, following up. So if you have a consult with someone and they are not ready to sign on with you for whatever reason, you want to put them onto a follow-up list. So that means that for your sake, you're going to create a follow-up schedule. And so everyone that you speak to over this 30-day challenge, you know, you're making your 5 reach outs a day, you're talking to people, you're doing interviews, you're doing consults. All of these people are really very, very close to being customers or clients. So if anyone has not signed on instantly, it does not mean that they will not sign on at some point. So you want to be following up with these people. And what I like to do is just set a follow-up schedule for myself. So that way there's no wiggle room. There's no, oh, I don't want to be annoying and do too much. You just set a schedule for yourself and you commit to it, and you do the follow-ups no matter what. It's just a very black and white thing. So let's say you have a consult and someone has not closed on the phone with you. So within 24 hours, I would send an email thanking them, saying it was great to connect with them, thanking them for their time, and telling them you know, a little bit more about your offer and giving a deadline or a bonus if they go ahead and take action, let's say within the next few days. So that would be the first follow-up within 24 hours. Then I would send another follow-up anywhere from 3 to 7 days after that, really depending on how the consults went and where things are and what kind of communication you've had. So first follow-up within 24 hours, second follow-up 3 to 7 days after, and then you can just put people onto a follow-up rotation. So it can be 30 days and then maybe every 3 months, every 6 months. But once you have just some sort of list that you are going to be following up in this systematic way, so no one is really like falling through the cracks and you're not just letting people, you know, fly away into la la land or whatever. There's still people that you can work with. So anyone you talk to is really a very warm, what's called like a warm lead in sales speak. So, okay. So following up, creating a schedule. And this last little bit is all about your challenge for the week. So this week, your connection challenge is specifically to connect with industry leaders in your field. So I want you to reach out to those people that you admire, those people who are really just crushing it online, offline. I mean, you could reach out to Oprah or, you know, whoever you want, but I want you to do some personal reach outs to the big wigs in your industry. That can also include opportunities. So if you want to be on someone's podcast, if you want to guest blog for someone, for a huge publication, if you want to submit yourself for media proposals, if you want to submit yourself for a possible book agent, anything that you think is big or out of your league, this is out of your league week. I want you to really reach out to people who you think, oh, I wouldn't even know what to say to them. Those people, those are the people that I want you to reach out to this week. So ideally 5 people a day, 5 days a week, but even if you do 1 person a day, that would be huge. 1 person a day that you think of as just inspiring. And you can do a social media shout out and mention them. You can send them a card, like in the mail. You can send them an email. Yeah, there's so many different ways to reach out. You can be creative, but just do something to make contact, make a connection, let them know that you admire them, you're inspired by them, just to start building those types of relationships and getting your name out there in a bigger way. So that's your challenge for the week. This week's focus is all about reaching out to those industry leaders, those big names, even people that you might feel intimidated by. those are the exact people that I want you to reach out to. So I think I have covered everything. My screen has frozen for some reason. I really hope this is all recorded. It's now nighttime. Let's see if it's at least a little bit brighter like this. Okay, well, don't know how long that went. I think it was about 30 minutes. So thank you for staying tuned. And you can just follow along in the workbook this week. You'll be good to go. And I have a really special training coming up that I don't want you to miss. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to show you how you can connect with people online, getting all of your leads, customers, prospects using just the internet. And it's what I've been doing in the past month in my business. And it is freaking like exploded my business to a new level that I couldn't have even imagined it. And it's really simple. And I'm going to show you exactly step-by-step how to do it. So I'm going to do a live training workshop the last week of April. So I'll show you a step-by-step process and actually we'll do it together on the call live. So it's going to be pretty cool. Alrighty, I think that's everything. Yeah, signing off from Sydney, and have a beautiful day or night wherever you are. Bye.